Hello and welcome to Granada Reports. We are live with the latest news and sports across the northwest.
Hello, thanks for joining us. Here's what's coming up on the programme this evening.
Lauren weighs just 6 stone. A rare disease means she can't eat any solid food. Now a family face a race against time to get a private surgery which could save her life.
I can't imagine a life not in pain. So to try and imagine getting that money and getting that surgery, I can't.
Back home, world record holder Frank Rothwell, who rode 3,000 miles across the Atlantic, joins us in studio.
I was hoping that the race organisers might say, that's it, we're going to pick you up now, but no. This says you've got to spare. Everything you've lost, you've got to spare of.
The man with a metal detector who turned detective, how Stephen discovered a World War I service medal and ensured it's been reunited with the late soldier's family.
We go inside the huge new £365 million arena opening in Manchester.
And it was a beautiful day for many of us yesterday. Today's not been too shabby either, and a mild start to February. But what does the rest of the week have in store? The details are later on.
So please do stay with us. But we start in Lancashire with a race against time faced by Lauren Bolton and her family, trying to get a life-saving treatment for a rare disease.
Lauren, who's from Rawtenstall, has a condition which means her jaw is permanently locked closed, so she's unable to chew solid food and is entirely restricted to a liquidised diet. It's called temporomandibular joint disease.
Well, that's a result of that liquid diet. The 29-year-old now weighs just 6 stone, but there is potential for her to get the help she needs. Esma Barman reports.
Lauren is in constant pain. For the last 15 years, she's been battling problems with her jaw, which is now permanently locked.
Can you show us
How far I can open?
as far as you can get it?
Yeah. It's painful to talk. I can guarantee I'll be in quite a lot of pain later on today from us obviously speaking now, and I'm practically being cared for at 29 by my parents.
For the last 2 years, she's been unable to eat anything solid. Now living on a liquid diet, she's lost so much weight, she's barely 6 stone.
But Lauren has no life, so she can't have a full-time job. She can't have a relationship with anybody. The amount of painkillers that Lauren takes on a daily basis means she can't function, she's not able to drive. She used to be a really active girl, good social circle of friends, and it's all gone. She's got nothing left.
The family say the problem's been compounded by years of misdiagnosis. At first, Lauren was told she was simply grinding her teeth and given a tooth guard. She was then offered damaging physio and Botox injections, which she said left her in even more pain.
I've begged and begged and begged for help, and you know, I understand that a lot of people with this condition have a muscular problem, but what I can't understand is why it was presumed that that was the case for me for so long. When he saw me at my lowest weight, the consultant, and advised that I drink McDonald's milkshakes every day and think positive were his words, and tapped me when he said it, I honestly, I couldn't even look at him.
Finally, an MRI scan revealed an arthritic condition that's so advanced she needs a titanium jaw replacement. But it's a procedure so complex only a handful of surgeons can do it, and most are private. On the NHS, she's looking at a wait of almost 4 years, a wait the family feel she won't survive.
My fear is that she's so slim that technically on paper she would be listed as anorexic, and when people have these sorts of problems, potentially it starts affecting their organs, and then she won't be well enough to have the surgery. It's an awful lot of money, isn't it?
The family are now trying to raise £95,000 for private treatment in London. Treatment fellow sufferer Tony Bull also had to fund herself.
I was exactly where Lauren is now. My mouth opening was around about 8 to 10 millimetres prior to that surgery. I was on milkshakes. I was unable to work. I'd been told to go off sick for 5 months, and I just had no quality of life.
What difference will it actually make if you get this money?
It would be incredible, wouldn't it, to get you back to normal.
I can't imagine a life not in pain. So to try and imagine getting that money and getting that surgery, I can't. It's just I can't fathom it because I've lived in pain for so long.
All Lauren wants is her life back, but it's a life only money can buy. Mal Barham, ITV News, Rossendale.
And if you want to find out more about Lauren's story and her condition, there is more on our website, the usual address, itv.com/Granada.
Well, more news now, and the benefit show in memory of the Warrington teenager Brianna Jai raised more than £1,200 in her memory. The Live Your Truth event in Manchester brought the city's LGBTQ+ community together with performers from across the UK. The money will go to the charity set up by Brianna's mother Esther, which aims to bring mindfulness into schools.
The Health and Safety Executive is now leading an investigation into the death of an Everton fan who was killed when he was working on the club's new stadium. 26-year-old Michael Jones died last summer after he was injured at Bramley Moor Dock. The regulator will look to establish if there have been any breaches of health and safety law.
And a new era for buses in Oldham, Rochdale, Bury and North Manchester. They're joining the B network next month, which puts them back under public control for the first time in 40 years. The rollout means half the buses on the network will be managed by Transport for Greater Manchester. The Metro Mayor also revealed a pilot scheme to introduce night buses.
The services will improve. There'll be more frequent bus services when the B network launches, earlier running services, later running services, and there'll be 80 new buses coming into service on that day. I'm also confirming today that in the summer we will start a pilot on night buses for Greater Manchester, and that will be on the V1 route and the 36 route. So there are constant changes coming to buses in Greater Manchester. People are backing us because they're using the buses. That helps me keep the fares low, and I'll be keeping that £2 cap on bus fares in place for the rest of this calendar year as we bring in the B network.
And take a look at this wonderful moment. This is the 6-year-old son of McFly's Danny Jones, who had a big surprise watching The Masked Singer on Saturday. But who was it behind the piranha disguise?
Yeah, of course, it was none other than his own dad, much to Cooper's amazement. It was a lovely family moment of complete joy for Danny, who's from Bolton. Congratulations, Danny, and thanks for sharing that brilliant reaction. We loved it.
Yeah, I love everything about that video. Now, we're going to go back to Armistice Day last year when a man with a metal detector made a remarkable discovery.
Yeah, Stephen Brame from Bacup in Lancashire unearthed a World War I service medal in a field in Accrington.
And after weeks of searching, he's managed to track down the soldier's great-niece and reunite her with the medal, as Lucille Brobby now reports.
On Stephen's metal detecting adventures, he can find anything, from coins dating back to the 1700s to a Viking games piece. But when detecting in a field in Accrington on Armistice Day last year, he uncovered something different. A silver World War I service medal.
Honestly, I dug the hole and what came out was what I thought was a silver coin. It was only when I got home that I had to realise and clean it up that it was actually a medal. So yeah, it's unbelievable really. To actually find a medal on Armistice Day.
After some research, Stephen and an archaeologist discovered the medal belonged to Private Nicholas Farnworth, a soldier who served with the East Lancashire Regiment during the First World War.
I suspect that what's happened is it's been Remembrance Sunday, he may have been at a service there, and I think he's walked through the field with actually with his medal on, and he's either tripped or fell, or because the medal itself is not complete, it's only the circular part of the medal and not the holder.
There's still no picture of Nicholas, but after weeks of searching, Stephen managed to track down his great-niece Lisa and return the medal to her.
Here you go, Lisa. It's been my pleasure to bring you this family heirloom. It's been hiding in the ground for quite some time, so
It's an honour to be contacted. People like Stephen are giving us a lot back in terms of history, and particularly when it's people that have fought for us in war. So I'm thankful. Hopefully there may be other family which are more direct to Nicholas that may come forward.
Although what Nicholas looks like remains a mystery, Stephen's uncovered a piece of history that's helped bridge generations. Lucille Brobby, ITV News.
Yeah, good to see it back where it belongs. Well done, Stephen. Now let's take a look at what's coming up on the ITV News at 6:30 with Mary.
Coming up on the evening news, we will have the latest from Bristol, where police confirm a baby was among 3 young children found dead in a house yesterday. The widow of the Russian opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, claims her husband was killed using Novichok. Here, are they a distraction for children? The government plans a crackdown on phones in schools. And after his life-changing surgery, a special day out for the boy who beat the odds. Do join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Thanks, Mary. Now, the North West is blessed with many wonderful venues for sport, music and comedy. And now there's a new kid on the block, Manchester's Co-op Live Arena.
Yeah, the venue at the Etihad campus has cost £365 million and will hold up to 23,000 people, giving it the largest maximum capacity of any indoor arena in the UK.
It opens in just 2 months' time now, and we're wondering, who can we see there? Victoria Grimes sent us this report from the auditorium.
It is very, very exciting, this, for Manchester. I've had to go all Barbara the Builder so that I can come in because it's not quite ready yet. But we are, in fact, the first TV crew who have been allowed into Co-op Live since all of the seats went in. 23,000 people will be able to watch gigs and shows and all kinds of magical things here when it opens. And that will happen very, very soon, we found out today, with a very special guest for the first live show. Gary, you are in charge here. Tell us who's taken to the stage for that opening night.
We're delighted to announce that Peter Kay is going to be the first act ever to open Co-op Live, this amazing new arena in Manchester.
Peter Kay, how did you keep that secret for so long? Because that's a great one to start with.
Yeah, well, we've had an amazing announcement, so I've been able to keep them all under wraps. That's part of the job. But it's just glad to be able to finally talk about it. That's the question I get asked the most. You know, who's going to open this incredible venue? And delighted tonight, it's Peter Kay. You know, the guy that sold more tickets in the UK than any entertainer, artist out there, and more tickets in Manchester than anyone's probably ever done in their career. So it's only fitting that he gets the chance to come here and do his business on this stage.
Gary, why was it so important to have somebody from Manchester here to open it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this arena's about presenting the very best on the world stage, and Peter is literally the best comedian in the world, maybe the most famous comedian in the UK by any stretch of anyone's imagination. And I think this venue is for local people, and everyone's very, very proud of Peter Kay, right? Everyone loves what he's done and love what he's achieved, and he, like I said before, he's sold the most tickets of any artist ever in the UK, so why not give him the opportunity to open this flagship building? He's got the ability to do things that are outside the box and move things forward, and that's what we're looking for him to do here.
And it's important that it's about Manchester, isn't it? I know that's something that's very, very important to everybody that's involved in this project, that it's about the people here being able to come, the communities, and what are you going to do for them as well? Because I know there's some fundraising, isn't there?
Yeah, there's all sorts going on, whether we're redeveloping the walking route, a £3 million investment for people to get here, the sustainability that the venue does. We've created over 3,000 construction jobs on this site, over 2,000 new jobs for local people, and the vast majority of them are going to be employed within 5 miles. So this is a venue, a gig venue that gives back, and we're also donating £1 million plus to the Co-op Foundation, as well as part of our amazing naming rights partnership with the Co-op.
So that's a huge amount of money that will be going to help local people in the future, isn't it? And tell us again about how special this is going to be. It's going to be a different type of venue experience, isn't it?
A completely different type of venue experience. This is 23,500 people can come to this venue, so it's the biggest venue that's ever been built in the UK. Yet the way it's been designed by populist architects means that people are going to be on average 20 metres closer to the action.
20 metres closer to the action?
Yeah.
Actually, you can almost touch Harry Styles if he comes into the
key thing is that people don't feel like they're in the gods. They are down and closer to the artist than ever been before. It's also what we call a black box arena, so there's no advertising in here. So the relationship between the artist and the fan is so intimate. There's no distraction in between. It's just the moment between them the artist and the fan, and that's what we're looking to do.
Well, I'm sure you've got some big stars lined up. Who have you got? Who can you tell us about?
We've got 7 nights of Take That, 4 nights of Leon Gallagher, 4 nights of The Killers, 5 nights of The Eagles, which is the only only UK dates.
They're doing the Eagles.
Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing that we've managed to achieve here. It's like they're not going to London, they're not going anywhere else in the UK. They're coming and choosing to come to Manchester.
And why would they not choose to come to Manchester? Because it is fabulous here. Gary, thank you so much. I'll let you get back to work, and I'll go and give somebody their hat and their glasses back on the high vis.
Thank you.
See you later.
Vicky, why would they go to London?
Yeah, more importantly, keep the high vis on, Vicky. Sport now, and a crucial night in Everton's survival battle. Hi, Chris.
Another potential 6-pointer for Everton as they take on Crystal Palace. Both teams fighting to avoid relegation, so Sean Dyche says he can't let sentiment get in the way. He sent a message of support to Palace boss Roy Hodgson when he was taken to hospital last week after falling ill during training. Today, he's been replaced as manager by Oliver Glasner. Hodgson's coaches Paddy McCarthy and Ray Lewington will take charge tonight.
Great guy, someone I respect greatly, and Ray too. So we're hoping that recovers. But obviously, when the game comes round, we've got to look all beyond that. You know, it's an important game. It's important to us. The points are important. So, you know, that has to be parked. But bigger than the game is certainly his health, and I hope he is well, and I hope he comes through it with no problems.
A first taste of the Lancashire derby for new Blackburn boss John Eustace ended in a draw. Rovers went 2-0 up early in the game at Deepdale, but Preston fought back for a 2-2 draw to stay within 2 points of the Championship playoff spots. Bolton came from behind twice to grab a 3-3 draw with Charlton Athletic in League One. Blackpool were 2-1 winners at Peterborough to keep their hopes of a playoff spot alive. Elsewhere, Fleetwood lost, but Wigan Athletic managed a 1-0 win at Shrewsbury Town. League Two leaders Stockport were stunned 4-0 by Tranmere Rovers at Prenton Park. Carl Robinson remains unbeaten since taking charge at Salford. They beat Barrow 5-3. Crewe sit fourth in the table after their goalless draw with Harrogate. Morecambe's 1-1 draw at Wimbledon leaves them just a point outside of the playoff places, and a point behind them are Accrington, who drew 1-1 at Colchester with a little help from the Colchester defence. Liverpool have their first Women's Super League win of 2024. Captain Kerry Holland scored and was later sent off as Liverpool hung on to a 1-0 win at Brighton. Manchester United were beaten, but Everton won at home for the first time this season, beating West Ham 2-0. In basketball, Cheshire Phoenix kept the title race alive for another week. They beat Caledonia Gladiators by 100 points to 93 to stop London Lions from clinching the British Basketball League title for the second year running. That party remains on ice.
Getting that winning feeling. FOW, sponsors of the Granada Sport Report.
Finally from me to Rugby League, and Super League champions Wigan are off and running in their title defence. A try from Cruz Leeming on his debut helped the Warriors beat Castleford 32 points to 4. Next up for Wigan is the big one, the World Club Challenge against Australian side Penrith Panthers this weekend. We'll have much more on that game later in the week.
Yeah, can't wait, Chris. Thank you. We're kind of staying with sport because next up we're saying congratulations to our newest world record holder in the studio, none other than the amazing Frank Rothwell, the chairman of Oldham Athletic. Just back from Antigua after beating his own Guinness World Record to become the oldest person ever to row across the Atlantic solo.
Yeah, Frank is a mere 73 years old, but fitter than most people half his age. He completed the treacherous 3,000-mile journey in just 64 days. An incredible journey that raised nearly £300,000 so far for Alzheimer's Research UK.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Well, we gave him and his wife Judith a very warm welcome when they joined us earlier.
Relieved it's completed. Relieved I'm back in one piece and it's been completed. And yeah.
Now, you must have missed those grandchildren because you told us that you were taking those Christmas cards to open on Christmas Day.
And I told you that the best Christmas present grandparents can get of grandchildren is a homemade card. And that on Christmas Day, I had all 3 homemade cards, which was fantastic.
So, Judith, tell us what one of those said.
Oh yes.
It was,
I
can't remember.
It said, "You've done it now, shut up."
And what was it like when you saw the grandchildren?
Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, they came up and had a cuddle, and they had a whisker kiss.
Well, that's quite a beard.
Oh,
You're a
yeah.
real seafarer now.
Yeah.
Judith, how often do the two of you speak?
Twice a day, every morning between 8 and 9-ish, and every night between about 8 and 9-ish.
You must have been so worried, though.
It was a worrying time, but on the chart, he wasn't moving either. So that was a worrying time, that the boat wasn't moving.
So, Frank, what was going on then?
Well, the satellite
Why weren't
phone.
you on the phone?
Well, with the satellite phones we have, we hired 3 of them, and we also get a package. And they hadn't bought me enough time.
So you were all right?
Oh, yeah, it was all right. Yeah, but it's 2 full days that was no communication, which is like a bit scary for Judith.
Is he grounded now? Are you keeping him at home now?
Yeah. You know what she said? She says, "Where have you been till now? What time have you got?"
Yeah,
explain yourself. Well, you know,
it was 1 o'clock in the morning when it's 1 o'clock in the morning, Frank. OK, as long as you're all right. Why? So we just had us all worrying. Luke and everything. So don't phone Luke, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. That was a worrying time.
Frank, how much weight did you lose?
I lost 15 kilos.
15 kilos?
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Your clothes must be hanging off you.
I've gone down 2 sizes on my pants, and also I've got my belt. I've had to cut some more holes in my belt. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Showing off.
I need to get on that rowing machine, I do. What's your standout memory from the whole thing, Frank?
Being washed overboard. Because what happened is, after about a week, I'm about 300, 400 miles offshore, and very, very early morning, the boat got washed onto its side. The boat got turned over, and everything went everywhere. All the
You lost your hat, your glasses.
Yeah, I hat and glasses. Yeah, and eventually I went out onto the deck, and I was putting out a sea anchor, which is a big parachute we put in the sea to hold the boat steady, and it washed me over.
You never felt like giving up at any point?
Not really. I was hoping that the race organisers might say, "That's it, we're going to pick you up now." But no. It says you've got a spare. Everything you've lost, you've got a spare of. So.
And would you do it again?
No.
Well, I was going to say, Judith, you know Frank better than anyone. Is this it for him?
Yeah, it is on that front. He'll do something, I would think. He's got things he wants to do. But nothing as challenging that. It's too much out of him, mentally and physically. He has taken a lot out of him.
At the moment, as we speak, the fundraising is almost at £300,000, and I would like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank everybody who has donated, and if anybody else would like to donate, it's dead simple. Just go to Just Giving Frank Rothwell. That's Just Giving Frank Rothwell, and 100% of the funds donated will go to Alzheimer's research.
Well, big congratulations from all of us
Well, thank you very much.
Good to see you back safely.
Thank you. And,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, what a lovely couple. I mean, the man's got bounds of energy. 73 years old, flew in, landed this morning, and then come into the studio to chat to us earlier on.
Yeah, but both of them, behind every superhero, there's a very patient wife waiting and supporting.
And she is very patient.
Brilliant, well done to both of them. Great family.
Here's the weather with Joe.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thank you. A very good evening to you. Hopefully you've seen a little bit of sunshine over the last couple of days. It's certainly been a lovely quiet start to the working week, but it will be turning more unsettled from tomorrow with a spell of wet and windy weather on Wednesday and colder conditions for all of us by this weekend. High pressure giving us this peaceful start to proceedings, but during tomorrow rain will move in on a front. Wet and windy weather during Wednesday, followed hot on the heels by squally showers on Thursday. Friday looks a little drier, brighter and more settled, but it will be turning a bit colder. Back to this evening, a few spits and spots of showery rain for the Isle of Man, parts of Lancashire and Cumbria, but mostly a dry night to come with a gentle breeze. And after midnight, certainly in the Pennines, the Lakeland Fells, we could see a few fog patches developing before dawn. And we're free from frost tonight. 5 or 6 Celsius in sheltered rural spots. Winds picking up a little bit for exposed western coast by dawn, but a quiet start to the day. The sun will be rising at 7:20, setting at 5:30 tomorrow evening. Mist and fog will lift and we'll see some bright or sunny spells during tomorrow morning, and it's certainly dry, but as you can see, winds picking up in strength, and certainly by lunchtime cloud builds from the west and we'll see rain beginning to move in during tomorrow afternoon. At first it starts quite fragmented, and then by the middle of the afternoon 1 or 2 heavy bursts pushing through eastwards and away. And behind it, skies brightening quite quickly, so some late sunshine just before the sun goes down for the likes of Cumbria, parts of North Lancashire and the Isle of Man. It's still mild tomorrow, quite blustery. From tomorrow onwards, it remains very unsettled for the rest of the week. Bye-bye.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Joe, I'm off to the gym to get on the rowing machine, but I don't think I'm going to manage 3,000 miles on it.
Well, if you make a start now, you might be all right. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.